Hey everyone and welcome back. If you are new here then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today I'm showing how to get the perfect smoky under eye. I absolutely love a smoky under eye and it doesn't have to be that scary to achieve either, and it's so easy. So if you are a beginner you're going to absolutely be able to do this as well. If you're not, you're also going to be able to do this. I've already done my full face today. I want to get straight into this video. So I've done like a nice brown smoky eye, which I think anyone would be able to do as well. And it looks nice how it is, but wait till you see it with a super smoky under eye. It's just going to elevate it, amp it up a little bit more. You're only going to need a few things which you've probably already got in your collection. The first thing is the eyeshadow palette that you've used. I've used the Lunar Beauty palette today. I've got eyelashes stuck to it everywhere. Yeah, I've used this palette today. Honestly, any eyeshadow palette, again, it doesn't really matter what colours you've used either. I've stuck to like a brown smoke because I think that's quite universal. Anyone can create this at home. Second is an eyeliner pencil. I'm going to be using black today. You could use a black, brown, again any colour, but I usually stick to a black or brown. And then two makeup brushes. So the first one is kind of like a little pencil brush. It's fluffy but it's very small, so any kind of fluffy blender, the smallest one you've got the better it will be. And then the next one is like a flat like smudger brush. It's very dense, the bristles don't move that much unlike this one. Any kind of dense like small shader brush will be fine, any kind of smudger. And that is it. Those two brushes are all I'm going to be using. I'm going to zoom you in as close as I can and we're going to get straight into it. I personally prefer to do my smoky under eye right at the very end when I finish my makeup, but you can absolutely do it if you do eyes before base. You can do it while you do your eye makeup. There's no rules when it comes to makeup, so whatever suits you best. Step one, I'm going to line my waterline. This is actually an optional step. If you don't want to do this, that's absolutely fine, but I tend to find it does emphasize the look a little bit. But again, not everybody likes to line their waterline, so again, no rules, do whatever suits you best. I'm using a black eyeliner today and I like to do this first because I do like to do two layers, so I'll probably do a layer now, a layer at the end. And sometimes my eyes get a little bit sensitive and a little bit runny, so I'd rather get that over with now before I start to like blend any eyeshadows or anything. So I'm gonna line my waterline first, which is step one. So I just go back and forth a little bit. Again, it's really hard to do with one hand. And just build it up. Okay, so that's step one done. If my eyes do get a little bit runny like they have now, I'll just wait a couple of minutes for them to settle down and then we can start going in and blending the eyeshadow. So the next thing that I'm going to use is the fluffy pencil brush. So I'll show you what eyeshadows I've used because I like to repeat the same steps underneath when I'm doing a smoky under eye. So I've used Sickening as my lightest shade, then I've gone to Mug for my medium, and then I've used Shady, which is the black shade, as my last shade. So I've done that on the top. I'm going to do that on the bottom as well to create like a nice gradient. So I prefer to start with the light one. So we're going to go with Sickening. So with the lightest shade, this is going to be blended out the furthest. This is going to create the more like smoky vibe. So the further that you blend this shade out, the more smokier that it's going to be. I also find using the lightest shade first is less scary. If you went in with the darkest shade and then tried to blend it out, that's when it can start getting a little bit messy. So start with the lightest shade first. This gives you a guide then for the rest of the eyeshadows that you'll use. Honestly, it's such an easy technique and I just absolutely love the effect at the end. So I'm just building this up all along the lash line. Gonna blend it down quite far. I get a lot of under eye creases underneath my eye as well, and this is actually a good hack to try and diffuse them and hide them. Okay, so that's step two done. You can already see we're starting to get that nice like smoky effect. So I'm going to move on to my medium shade. So that was Mug, which is this one right here. So I'm picking up a little bit of Mug. Because this one is darker now, I'm not going to blend this out as far. So with this one, I'm just going to stick to the lash line and just go backwards and forwards all the way along it. So again, not really moving the brush around, just going backwards and forwards. And now you can see we're starting to get that nice light gradient from the black liner to the lighter eyeshadow, so it goes nicely from light to dark. And again, build it up to your preference, as long as you don't blend it down as far as the first eyeshadow. So that is your guide really. You can see how the darker brown, that step just adds like to the nice gradient, starts to bring everything together. So we've only got maybe 1 or 2 steps left. So we're moving on to this flat brush. I've actually forgot to tell you what brushes they are. This is a Morphe M408 and this one was a Morphe M149. I don't even know if you can still get these or not. I've had them for years, but I really love them for lower lash line work. So this one is a little bit more stiff. The bristles aren't as fluffy, so they're not going to move around the product as much. It's going to be a lot more precise using something like this, because we're going to go on to our black eyeshadow. So that was Shady, which is this one. So with the black shade, I'm trying to get as close to the lash line and to that black eyeliner as I possibly can. This is just going to bring everything together now and just deepen it up a little bit more. So with this, I'm just going to press this into where my lower lashes are. Literally just stamping it on, and I always start with the outer corner every time because that's where I want it a little bit more smoky, and kind of taper it off as you come closer, but all the way along the lash line as close as you can to that liner, and see how it's just really deepened everything up. That's all you really need to do, and we're nearly finished already. Just to finish it all off, I'm just going to clean off that pencil brush. I'm just going to do a couple of sweeps all the way along, not really buffing it out, just straight across the lower lash line, just to bring everything together. And that is it. And that is pretty much it in 4 steps. And you can see the difference, like how nice and sultry that looks compared to that side. And I just think it's so easy to create, and it does revamp up your makeup. The very final step is a bit of mascara. Again, this step is optional because everybody likes a bottom lash mascara, but I love it. So I'm going to apply a tiny bit. And then very, very, very final step. This is what I like to do. I just like to go in and just do 1 more layer of my liner, because this will have dried off now, so I can just add a little bit more just to make sure that it's nice and pigmented. Okay guys, so that is my super easy smoky eye technique. You can use this with any colours as well. Just try and stick to like going light to dark, and you'll find it so much easier with the lighter shade being more of like a guide to the rest of your shadows. And just remember to kind of mirror what you've done on top underneath, and honestly you cannot go wrong. I'm going to do the other eye, but I just wanted to share like the before and the after. I just absolutely love it. Okay guys, so that completes my smoky under eye technique and how to get the perfect smoky under eye. I really hope this helped you out. Let me know if it did down in the comments, because I like creating videos which I think you're going to find helpful and that are quite easy to achieve at home as well. So let me know if you do like it down in the comments. Please give it a big thumbs up as well, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!